Welcome to Shop Talk. I am Shaun, Curran, and with me as always is AJ Speck. AJ, how we doing?
I am AJ Speck. We're doing fantastic. Shaun, I'm so stoked that we are here, man. This is going to be amazing.
Um, so if you haven't been familiar with us, we used to do Shop Talk back in the day, all via podcasts. We had a big crew. We love them. We miss them. However, this is the new reborn of Shop Talk.
And if you listen to us in our early days, you notice that we are no longer pushing barbecue sauce. But if you like barbecue sauce, Deadeye Barbecue is the best damn barbecue sauce in the Midwest. So you might as well go get it. Who knows?
Might as well go get it. This episode, we're going to go ahead and talk about For Reels, which is our movie segments. We're going to talk about some of the streaming services, the pros and the cons. We're going to go into the Snyder Cut, which I cannot wait. We're going to talk a little bit about the Three Jokers, and then we're going to go ahead and play a little game I call I Got Questions. And then finally, we'll go with Top Shelf, which is our recommendations of the week. Sound good?
Sounds fantastic, man. Let's get into it.
Let's roll. So, without further ado, let's jump into the streaming services news.
So I was thinking, actually, before we dive right into the news, let's talk about our setups here, because
okay.
You've got some killer stuff going on behind you. And I mean, we're both color coordinated with our screens. I feel like we have to touch on it,
We are.
So what do you got going on behind you, man?
Well, I don't know if you can tell who my favorite superhero is, but it's obviously Superman.
Yeah.
Clearly.
All the red, white, and blue, dude.
All the red, white, and blue. I'm a Bat fan by far. My favorite Batman is Batfleck, my boy right here. And he is one of my favorites. But I got my Funko Pops. I got my Hush back there. I got my new 52 Rebirth. And then,
pull that new 52 up closer. I gotta say, I think that's my favorite one, man.
This guy right here.
Oh yeah, that suit. That is easily my. Well, I would say that's my second favorite Batman suit. My favorite one is the light blue color with the gray.
Yeah. My favorite is Hush.
Hush. Yeah, that's clean, man.
This guy.
Oh, what would be really cool to add to your collection too is the Gotham by Gaslight.
I have thought about that, and I'm looking for a good one.
Are you?
Yes, I really am.
It's so jealous, man. You have so many better characters for Batman than the Flash.
They give you so many choices.
Yeah.
But what do you got behind you, man? It looks like you got a pretty sweet setup.
So I got my Funkos that I've been putting together here, but I also have quite a bit of, I've got 3 of the Supermans. I just got this. This glass is super dope. It's like, 1975 from Pepsi. Got this sick. At a thrift store, not a thrift store, a flea market last weekend. And then there's a Denver.
Is that a Saga picture?
Yeah, what's my Saga Volume 1.
Oh, nice.
So I got to have that in there. And I got some Invincible on the way too that I'm going to be adding, which I know you got behind you there. So I'm excited about that. But, so I got this from a Denver comic store. And this guy does a bunch of prints, and all of them are like terrifying.
That is sick.
Spawn and everything. But this Superman I had to pick up.
That is sick.
Got the Jim Lee Green Lantern meeting Batman here. From
that.
Pretty recognizable scene there. And then I've got my Bruce Timm Wally.
See, Bruce Timm does some quality stuff.
But I got him for like $8.
That was for Shane, not Wally.
Exactly. But I got it for $8 because some little kid broke off the lightning bolts on his ears or on his head. So
that's a steal.
Yeah. Well, I got him, and I got John Stewart in Reverse Flash as well. So over on the wall there. And then oh man, I should have gotten his name down, but I need to plug this artist because I've got a few more of his as well. So
yeah. You definitely need to plug that because that guy's sick.
And then
there's Wrigley.
There's Wrigley. So
the star of the show, really.
Always. Even though she's passed out in the living room right now. So, but
hey, man, she earned it.
She did. We went on a nice little walk, and she's an Akita, so she's exhausted. So from the heat. So
Wrigley's my favorite dog that I've never met.
Yeah,
I feel like I know her from Instagram.
She's a good pup. She's real good. She gets more Instagram love than I ever do. So I'll just keep posting
My kids
so I
do
keep
that
getting
for
those
me.
lights. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Really is my kid. So, I mean, that is what it is.
Exactly. I love it.
But man, I'm loving the setup, dude. Like I'm really digging your space. That's fantastic.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. My wife called me a big nerd, which is totally fine. But I call this my little bat cave.
I love it.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I were talking about that too, and I actually have a girlfriend. Shout out to Jocelyn. I appreciate.
I was about to say
you
you just announced to the world that it's the relationship status. I like that. You define a relationship online.
It's real. So I mean, but yeah, man. We were talking. We went out.
Lucky lady.
Tell her that.
Well, I will.
But we were just talking, and she was just like, if we ever get a house together, like, you can have one room. And I was like, that's all I want. That's all I need. I just decorate one room. You can have the rest of the house.
I would show you the rest of the room, but basically this is my Florida State Jaguar room, and it's basically my only salvation in the house. It's where I live.
Well, didn't the missus like decorate it while you were out?
Yeah, she treated me to it.
She's fantastic.
I didn't want to.
I'm trying not to drop names right now because I'm hoping that she can join us sometime. But until she's ready, we'll keep her a secret.
She's ready to blossom.
Exactly.
She hopefully will come on one day.
I hope so. Yeah, she is. She's awesome. But dude, cool, man. Let's dive into some for reals here.
For reals. Let's do for reals. I think the main thing that is overshadowing movie news right now, for me at least, because we don't have really much else to talk about, is the Flash. And news about the Flash movie coming out. It cracked open a huge theoretical egg that we are going to scramble up and talk about right now.
So the big news there is that Michael Keaton is rumored to be coming back. WB's trying to bring him back into the fold, which obviously has some huge implications because, as everyone knows, the Flash BA, Barry Allen specifically, likes to just absolutely decimate the timeline. And with Flashpoint, over the years, there has been some references, we'll say, to Earth 89. And Earth 89 is Keaton's, that's his Earth.
Yes.
And so there's been quite a few things there's been little references here and there, even on the CW, the Arrowverse Crisis event that they did. They had a little nod to Earth 89. And then did you see recently that they had in Batman Returns? I think it was Batman Returns, right? That was his movie?
Batman and Batman Returns.
Yeah. So did you see that there is
the Flash Easter egg?
Yeah.
In Batman Returns. Yes.
But it was a Jay Garrick Easter egg. It was someone wearing Garrick's helmet.
But it's still a nod. And then what I love is that they're having him reprise his role. Mm-hmm. So then that opens up the theoretical egg of is possibly going to be Batman Beyond, and he's just an older Bruce that's training Terry, or is it just going to be the same Bruce in a kind of Kingdom Come kind of way?
See, I was wondering about that because I've seen two things. Well, I've seen multiple now, but I've seen that they were going to say that Keaton was going to be wearing the Kingdom Come Batman outfit with
I read that,
the braces and everything. But then I've also seen that he was going to be leading him into a Batman Beyond. Those are totally separate Earths. So what do you think on that? What do you think is going to actually end up happening there?
Well, in my opinion, I don't think that it's likely they do Kingdom Come because they just did that on TV. Yeah. So I think that would be kind of a disservice to fans. What I believe they're going to do is they're probably going to do Batman 89 transitions into Terry, because that Gotham was already kind of futuristic yet old-fashioned, and that's the world that Batman Beyond is in too. It's a futuristic yet kind of like not so distant future,
almost like a what is that, like BioShock or like a Fallout, even, where it's a futuristic past tense kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like that would be more likely, and also that would just cement Keaton as Batman forever if he hasn't already done that.
Well,
and I mean to have him be starring in, or guest starring in 3 different movies for a Batman Beyond, which people have been clamoring for, would be amazing. And that'd be a huge box office draw. I mean, a cash cow for DC. But the whole thing is you're opening up now a multiverse for Batman. And that's just, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
And do you remember a couple of years back when it was right around the time, I think it was right before Justice League was released originally, where Ezra Miller, we'll talk about it later, was talking about it wasn't just a multiverse, it was a speedsterverse, where he flat out said that they had plans for Barry Allen to be unlocking all these different, this multiverse. And it was going to be focused in on speedsters, but obviously it's DC. They can't just go in and just do speedsters. They're going to bring in all the Batmans. They're going to, especially with all the iconic players that have been Batman before. But then
what this opens up with the multiverse, sorry to cut you off. I didn't. No. What this opens up is the Joker movie and the Pattinson movie. They can still exist because there's multiple versions in multiple worlds. So this is just a retelling.
They don't even have to force it. They can be like little nods here and there.
And, I mean, they can put Easter eggs in. They don't have to. They can make movies the way they used to and just not have them be. And that was my big problem with the MCU. Is like once it got grounded, it seemed like every movie had to forcefully include something else about the next movie. Mm-hmm. And like, if DC can pull this off, you can just have these other movies without explanation.
That is and we've talked about this in the past, where the MCU did such a good job of building up a story, like an overarching story, so that they had little forceful moments where they put nods in for other movies, but they didn't necessarily need to continue the story on. Whereas I felt like with all of the DCEU, where they tried to just force it together, it was almost like they tried to use Flex Seal to hold together like the space shuttle kind of thing. And it was just like, okay, maybe it might work for a little bit, but it's going to break apart at some point.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I felt like this move, where if they opened up this multiverse, they can have one-off stories with a tiny thing or even just a post-credit scene that ties them together in just the most minute
100%.
ways, and still have what DC does best, which I think are individual stories. And
they are way better, in my opinion. I agree with you.
Yes.
On individuals.
Yes.
100%, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Same page. But this also brings up the question: if Keaton's in it, does that mean that because like right before the Keaton news broke, there was rumors that Jeffrey D. Morgan was signing on to be Flashpoint Batman.
Yep.
Now, one thing that I would be loving and dying to see would be Jeffrey D. Morgan as Flashpoint Batman. However, I do like the idea of changing the Flashpoint story a little bit, and instead of going back in time, he goes into the other multiverse.
Okay.
Maybe can we have both? I mean, is there a possibility, a reality of this movie not only crossing time but universes? And it makes sense in one movie with Ezra Miller.
Because
with Ezra Miller,
I loathe Ezra Miller. I can't help myself. Like, I love how passionate he is about this project. I will give him that. I absolutely do. But he's not Barry Allen. He's not Wally West. He's not anything to me. Like, he's just, he doesn't, and I know it's not his fault completely, but, and
they wrote him as a little brother.
They wrote him as a big brother. I know. I shouldn't be mad at him about it because he plays that role well, but he shouldn't be that. I love you, buddy. But Barry Allen would clean Batman up in a second, well, less than a second. So, like, I mean, that's hard to deny, though. I mean, he's
the only question I have, yes, he is godlike, and he is very powerful. But I do have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is this fight known? I mean, does Batman know it's coming?
I don't think it would matter. To be honest,
that's a superpower. Superpower time.
Yeah, but there's just a difference because, like, when Batman and Superman fought one another, Superman just never, I feel like, used his speed, and he held so much back. Mm-hmm. If in the situation, we'll say like the Batman Who Laughs, if if it's something like this where it's like the dark multiverse and
Mm-hmm.
Batman's lost his shit and Barry Allen absolutely is just like, he's a lost cause. I have to take care of this. I have to at least incapacitate him. It's not something where it's like, I have to think this through. It's before Bruce Wayne on 1/32 of a blink and he's already incapacitated. Like that is like, Barry Allen is ridiculous. And even if it was Wally West though, Wally West is like Barry Allen, but likes to fight people. Like he's like the Jason Todd of the Bat family, but really fast. So
we're gonna have to table this argument.
We'll shelve it.
Because what we need to do, we need to put this on the top shelf, and we need to. Hey, that's a Easter egg for later. And then we will have a true debate.
We could go all night on this.
I know, because I just realized that if we start getting into this, I'm never going to concede. You have some great points, and I will say that Flash is one that's hardest for Batman to counteract. But I need to do my homework. I need to prepare my statement.
I'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. So, I just didn't like how Ezra was portraying Barry Allen, so that bummed me out.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
With the new Snyder Cut, he might not be a punchline because Cyborg's part is supposed to be completely different. Well, Miller's part could be completely different.
Batman versus Superman, when Ezra came back and was like a key, like a pivotal moment there. So he might have a bigger role. So
I mean, it makes sense that he's not this goofball screw up like comic relief character. You know, yuck, because that's what Joss Whedon likes to do.
Yeah,
he likes to have somebody be the punchline. I mean, for Christ's sakes, he made Batman joke and smile.
Yeah,
that which infuriated me to no end. Dude. But I mean, so the Snyder could come out and you could have different thoughts on Ezra Miller.
True.
Just saying.
True.
So in a year from now, we might be having a different conversation.
Yeah, that's a good point. But what I was going to get into in terms of Flashpoint was, do you think that they're going to go full Flashpoint and bring in a Reverse Flash? And in that regard, do you think that they would actually bring the brutality of a Reverse Flash? Or do you think that they're going to just take it as Barry Allen ran really fast one day, stumbled his way and fell down, did that little roll, wakes up in another place and doesn't realize he's in that new dimension or that new multiverse until like he sees that everything's reversed? Like, do you think it's going to be something like that, or do you think it's going to be based on the Reverse Flash?
I mean, having a Reverse Flash would be cool, but I feel like it might convolute the movie if you have too much going on. And I mean, this is going to have to be a really packed movie to make sense of him traveling to a different multiverse, to him meeting another Batman, to him going to see Flashpoint Batman, to having introduced Reverse Flash to still have Batfleck. I think they might hint at him, and then he would be the villain of the next movie.
Okay, so what do you think, and this might be kind of a difficult question because there's so many different storylines that can come out of Flashpoint. And for anybody watching, if you have not gone through, don't just go through the main Flashpoint storyline, go through the individual storylines for everyone that's involved in Flashpoint. Highly recommended. It's out there, it's kind of funky, but fantastic story. It's so much fun.
It's really good. It's one of my favorites.
And one of the best DC animated movies that's ever been made. By far.
Not one of. It is the best one.
I didn't want to just say it. I didn't want to just say
Bat fan. Yeah, that's coming from a huge Bat fan.
Seriously,
I would say it's my favorite. It's my number one.
We do need to talk a little bit about some animated movies a little bit later. But anyway, so what do you think would be the most appropriate Flashpoint storyline that wouldn't be absolutely bonkers for a single Flash movie?
Okay, if we're going to go theoretical of what we'd like to see. I think it would be great to build up on. I've heard rumors. Let me start there. I've heard rumors that at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, he runs back in time.
Oh,
and that's supposed to be like an extra scene, and so
kind of like a I want to go and see if I can't save my mom kind of thing.
He branches
Okay.
off and that's his way of branching off. Maybe he
Got
doesn't show
it.
him going back in time, but it shows him running off. You know,
Okay.
and that was his supposed last. And that was a rumor that was circulating around. Let's say he does this, and let's say he's still learning his powers and everything like that. And he does go back in time and changes things. And while he's trying to, he discovers, he discovers Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and he realizes he screwed everything up by saving his mom. So we go down that road, and then he tries to correct course, and he goes and he runs into 89. Okay, so he finds out that he can travel time, and he
The
can
time
go to
stream kind of
multiverses.
thing. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
So the enemy in this movie is not Reverse Flash or any particular villain per se, but the enemy is time, and
Got
he is
it.
racing against time and himself. And he made a rookie mistake because that's what he is. That's the
Okay.
one thing about the Flashpoint storyline which always bothered me, is he wasn't brand new. This wasn't year one when he did it. He was an experienced speedster.
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels like it always felt like that should have been early on in his career. So for me, it makes sense if you're going to tell a Flash story, you start with Flashpoint, because it makes it seem like this would be something he wouldn't know. Then this is something that would really kind of like birth his legend. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. So not even just your preferred Flashpoint. This is your preferred Flash movie opener.
Yes.
Starting. Okay.
Yes.
I like that, but I would go with the Rebirth Flash story from Joshua Williamson. I think it's a really clean origin story.
Okay.
And there's a lot of really fun, like quick battles with his rogues gallery where he's getting kind of acclimated to who they are and what they do. I think that would be a lot of fun. But again,
Flash Rebirth was one of my favorite ones too.
Yeah. I mean, obviously,
Batman, Aquaman, and Flash Rebirth were the best three rebirths.
I thought that the Green Lantern story was pretty fun too.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, but I'm with you though. The Flash is obvious bias. I mean, nothing about me says that I love the Flash. Nothing, but
you dropped subtle Easter eggs.
Tiny little hints, just tiny little subtle hints,
breadcrumbs.
But I think I would go with that route. But at the same time, when it comes to Flashpoint, it's hard for me to see Flashpoint without Reverse Flash. And okay. I only say that but I really like your idea of hinting at him and then making him a Justice League foe rather than just a Flash foe, because not a lot of people understand this, because the Flash is still not seen, even though he's one of the most popular comic book characters in any medium. Not comic book, I'm sorry, any superhero character that is popular. I don't think that people understand just how like intense these like the battles are with these speedsters. Like when these speedsters get involved in other heroes' dimensions, like not multiverse kind of thing dimensions, but like in their world, they show just how like powerful they really are by being like, speed is not just speed. Speed is the mass that comes with it, the force that comes with it, the speed, like the wind that comes with it, all of it. There's so much.
The most recent one example I can think of is the Button. And when I read the Button, I was like really showing his power when he beat the shit out of yeah. And it's great. And I feel like there is more to Flash than just being a bumbling sidekick.
Yeah, so exactly.
I agree with you.
I think it would be fun, but I don't think that Ezra Miller would match up well with someone like a Reverse Flash because of how intense and brutal and angry and disgusting Reverse Flash can get. So,
you know who I've wanted as Reverse Flash? Matthew McConaughey.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I think he'd be a sick Reverse Flash.
I don't remember what his name is, and it's a pretty popular name, but the dude from Community.
Oh, Joel McHale.
Joel McHale, I think, could be an okay Reverse Flash if
I can see that.
Had it, because he has humor to him.
He's got the wit.
It's a sadistic,
spark,
depressed kind of hateful humor, I guess, to him. But yes, and wit and spark, that's fantastic. But that's, I think, the route that I would like to go. But I really like, after you said that, I really like playing into him, because I think Ezra needs to develop his character into a more powerful, more understanding before he gets into someone as horrifying as Eobard Thawne.
I like your idea of having him be a Justice League villain, because I've always felt that he has more potential than not just Flash, but you know what I mean. I feel like he is another level threat.
And this is in the same way that the MCU like powered down their heroes.
Mm-hmm.
The DCEU has powered down theirs as well, and I really think that Eobard would clean this batch of the Justice League up. But that's also considering they wouldn't power him down as well. But they have to, though, because like DC and Marvel are so different, that DCs are gods and Marvel are your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like it's much different. But
for a different audience. I mean,
yeah,
they use the real world as examples, like New York, and we have Metropolis and Gotham.
Yeah,
you know, so they have to have that difference. So watering them down a little bit makes sense, but it's also so that it's a little bit more believable. That's what they're trying to do.
Definitely.
At least. But it'd be interesting to see main villain. But I think he is a high-level threat that should just really encompass the whole Justice League. And you're right. This incarnation, we'll see on the Snyder Cut, but this incarnation, he would probably wipe the floor with him.
I think so. But I also think that there is another character that has the potential of being able to wipe the floor with the Justice League. And the man, the myth, the legend, old Zack Snyder got his way.
Yes.
Man, we're getting the Snyder Cut, dude. Can you believe that we're actually getting it?
I've been one of those tinfoil hat crazies for the past 3 years now. And I mean, I haven't been like angry yelling at people online, that kind of fan. But I've been one of those that supports and says that there's a Snyder Cut. And for me, this has just been so refreshing and reassuring, and just breath of fresh air, that knowing that there is a different version and a different vision for my most beloved characters. Because, I mean, this is what I grew up on. This is what I waited 37 years of my life for. And then it showed up and it was dog shit.
Darkseid is. I'm just so... Speaking of, there needs to be a Mr. Miracle movie, or actually, I think, honestly, an animated movie would be even better.
There's supposed to be a New Gods movie.
Yeah, Anna DuVernay isn't she directing it? Yeah, that's going to be some good stuff. But so talk about Snyder Cut, man, because you know a lot more about this. I've been purposefully kind of avoiding a lot of details. I've seen a couple plot points, but I'm curious to see what you've seen.
Well, so from what I understand is they showed in the Justice League, as the
Justice
on it. Yeah, the Justice League. That was 1/4 of Snyder's movie, and so the rest was all reshoots. Now, initially, he was supposed to come in because Snyder's daughter committed suicide, unfortunately, and he left the set and he couldn't proceed with the movie. So Joss Whedon was supposed to come in and just do just a couple reshoots, and then that was it. But apparently that's not what happened. There's rumors coming out now that from Ray Fisher and other like production VFX people that Whedon was bashing Zack Snyder and his movie and completely reshot the whole thing. So what we saw was only a quarter of what Snyder had. And you can tell in the trailers versus the movie, something wasn't matching up and something wasn't right? Well, Snyder took to Vero for the past 3 years and started releasing little snippets and his cut, basically, online. And so there's thousands of pictures, just different angles, different storylines, different storyboards, everything over the past couple of years. And now they're finally releasing this thing, and they say it's supposed to be 6 hours long. No, 4 hours long and 6 episodes on HBO Max.
Yep. Can I ask you one thing? So you mentioned one of the the like trailers, when it zooms in and actually shows Darkseid for the first time, two questions. So first, do you think that they're going to end up going with that is Darkseid's avatar, and like they're going to go with that whole thing where, you know, how new gods are so large that he's never fighting the Justice League. He's just sending off a, what do they call it? Avatar is not the right word, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
you mean
like
something like in the,
it's an embodiment of
Star
his
Wars,
power.
like in Star Wars, where what's his name? The guy that got cut in half. Who's the guy? Snoke. When Snoke has his hologram, like that. Okay.
Well, and you know, like how Darkseid's never actually fought the Justice League. It's just Darkseid's power has fought the Justice League, because he embodies a, not an avatar, but that's the word I'm going to keep using because I can't remember the exact word that I want. But he's never actually there because he's the size of multiple planets. Like the new gods are massive. So do you think they're going to go that route, or do you think they're going to go like the Thanos route and actually say that that's actually Darkseid? And then second question, do you think that he's actually going to look like that without like the armor? Because he kind of looked like a big thumb, and it made me worried. But then like the scroll that, or not the scroll, the carving that Diana sees in that looks like Darkseid. It has like his like the like features around his face and everything, but then when it looks at him, he doesn't. So what do you think?
Okay, that was a very loaded question. Awesome.
I know. I'm sorry.
No. It's great. In my opinion, what I think is, I think the final scene where you see the terraformers in the background, I think that is either going to be A, part of the nightmare, and we see more of the nightmare future and Flash going back in time, maybe, or B, that was the initial invasion of Earth. And so that's an older Darkseid.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay. And second thing on that that quick frame that they showed, without the armor or anything like that, I think that's early VFX. You know, I think that's, you know, kind of like when they first showed Spider-Man and Civil War, and people destroyed the FX, and they were like, his costume looks like shit. Oh, blah blah blah. Just angry fanboys. I think that was just early, and they're just trying to get you hyped up, because the cave drawings did look more legit Darkseid. Yes.
It's got so much potential, and I thought I saw something where Darkseid's not actually going to play a big role in this. It's just going to be the threat of he's coming, and then it still is going to be what's his name? Oh gosh. Steppenwolf, thank you. Who is still the lead villain in this?
Well, from what I've heard is,
she's certainly no slouch.
Steppenwolf also meets a more gruesome death. From what I understand, his head gets cut off by Diana.
I was going to say it has to be Diana.
Of course, she's a boss.
One of the most brutal characters in DC.
So there's going to be a lot of differences in what we see and what we saw. I personally can't wait. I have HBO Max on my iPad already. We didn't really talk about it, but streaming services, one of the big things with HBO Max is it's not available on Roku or Fire Stick. And
really?
And I cut the cord, so I don't have cable anymore, so I have Roku. And so HBO Max is not available. They missed out on 80 million subscribers because they released this thing too early. Yeah, it's insane.
They'll probably open it back up, though. I mean, right?
It's still going to be in negotiations, so it'll probably be there by the time. I mean, we
well, if you have shout out again to Jocelyn, but she has free logins for everything, so I got you.
Keep her.
She's the best. She's awesome.
You got to keep her.
She hates she doesn't hate my nerdy side. She just has no interest in it. But at the same time, she's like supportive of me loving it.
Great.
So
that's so great. I tricked Nicole, my wife, before we got married. I didn't let her in on how bad the Batman infection was until the Batman obsession. I said infection.
Both are true.
It's both. But I didn't let her in on it until we got engaged, and then I showed her all my comic books, and she's
Yep.
like, "What have I gotten myself into?"
Oh, it's
But
awesome.
she supports it. She supports it, man.
She's awesome. She's
Thanks.
fantastic. But
But dude, back to DCEU, back to
yes.
Snyder Cut. If this is successful, does this change the Flash movie to a possible HBO Max release? Does this move forward the DCEU only on HBO Max? Like, what happens? Are they going to bring Justice League back? Are they going to bring Batfleck back?
Aren't they going to start doing some exclusives on HBO Max?
Mm-hmm. They're going to have one of the exclusives is a Green Lantern show.
Yes.
And that's with I think there's a Justice League Dark show, which I think is headed by J.J. Abrams.
Oh, that's a good matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then
I wonder if that's going to be Bad Robot.
Greg Berlanti, the guy who does all of the CW shows, is helming the Green Lantern show.
Okay.
The only problem with that I have is a lot of the CW shows kind of seem very 90210-ish, like
very teen oriented. Yeah, exactly.
Teen oriented. I'm hoping that a Green Lantern show would be a little bit more mature.
It should be, because it's a bunch of space aliens. Like, they're not really like high-fiving each other. I mean, there's a lot of brutal stuff that happens in there. So, and it needs to have a bigger budget, to be honest, because of all of the I mean, like, who is it? Kyle Rayner's the one that has all the robots all the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big mechs and everything. Like, that's going to cost a lot of money in CGI. So,
well, from what HBO Max is touting itself as, is it's going to have big budget quality and big budgets, like, so movie production quality for television programming.
Got it.
So they could technically try to, I mean, the same way that Netflix is getting people like Will Smith now and Chris Hemsworth to star in movies direct to Netflix, I think HBO Max is trying to do that straight out of the bat. Yeah. I've heard rumors that they're trying to get Batfleck back to be exclusively with HBO Max.
Yep, which would be,
to me, the best.
Yeah. He's your favorite Batman, right?
Well, I mean, I grew up with Keaton. Okay, so I was 9 years old. My dad took me to go see that movie on a Thursday night at midnight when it opened. I had my Batman toy in my hand. It was the best moment of my life. Besides the birth of my kids, of course.
Well, they're asleep. They're asleep.
They're asleep. They can't hear.
Yeah.
No, but it was one of those childhood memories that, like, I'll always cherish. But Batfleck, for me, in the warehouse scene, in this fight with Superman, not so much the Doomsday fight. He was really hiding during that one. But, like, just even this Bruce Wayne that he had in that movie, in BVS Ultimate Edition, is everything that I've ever wanted in a smug Bruce Wayne and a boss, beat him up, bash him Batman. You know?
Big dude. He's a brutish.
Big, brooding, like, Dark Knight Returns style. Just, like, badass, you know? So, yeah, I'd say Batfleck is my favorite.
Yeah. I forgot. I got this just to show you. And it's super small, so don't get... There's nothing big here, but...
That's what she said. No! That's awesome!
So,
I love it.
Shaun knows this. I'm not the biggest fan of Batman because I feel like he's oversaturated in DC. Everything, really, not even just writing. But this came with my little homie here. And
so you had to keep him.
Oh, of course.
Oh, you got to keep him.
So you can actually see it. So I had to, you know. But yeah, I thought that you would like that there. But
as a Bat fan, I agree with you. He is a little bit oversaturated.
But I wouldn't say it. Like, if the Flash was in everything, I'd be stoked. But it's I don't know.
I mean, off topic for a second. That was the reason I really liked Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Because it wasn't Batman focused for once. Yep. Because even as the Batman fan, it's like sometimes it's a little much.
Yeah. We talked a lot about that in our last one, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay. So we'll post that separately than this one here. So if you want to see us talking about that new Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, highly recommended. Check out our last episode or our last video, because it's we get in well, we talked about not being too in depth, and then we just went full spoiler mode and talked about every detail of the movie.
We warned spoilers, but I didn't know we were going to go that deep into it.
We rewrote
That's what she
script.
said. We rewrote it.
So check that out there. But let's jump into the three Jokers, because I don't know a thing about this, and I wanted to see if you could shed a little bit of light on what was going on with that, because I saw just an Instagram post of the three of them sitting at a table, and I wanted to know a little bit more about that.
So Three Jokers is something that they did at the end of the Justice League run for the Rebirth.
Yep.
And it was revealed after he was in the Mobius chair, which is the all-knowing chair from the New Gods that Darkseid has. And so Batman sits in the Mobius chair. He knows everything, and he asks the one question that he's always wanted to know: who is the Joker? And it says it can't answer because there's three of them. And he goes, that's not possible. And so for the first time, the greatest detective is stumped. Mm-hmm. And then it closes this whole story by him looking at his bat screen, and it shows Jokers from different time frames. It shows the one that from The Killing Joke. It shows one from Death in the Family. And then it shows the most recent one from Endgame and Rebirth. So it was pretty cool. Then DC now let's move on to 17 different stories and forget that happened.
Yeah.
That was like 3
Yeah, they left this hanging for a while.
Yeah. And so now they're finally releasing the Three Joker story in October.
Well, and have you seen Jason Fabok, the artist for that storyline that has been with Jeff Johns exclusively now? He's been people have been asking him over and over and over about the Three Joker storyline on Twitter, and he has just been dying to talk about it, but he knows he can't. So he's and he said too that if he could exclusively stay with Jeff Johns for the rest of his career, he wouldn't work with anyone else, because he's
they just when you have a cool tandem like that, that's really.
Well, Jason Fabok, cool. I've said this back in the classic ShopTalk days that he's my favorite artist or cover artist. Yeah. Maybe not internal artist, but cover artist at least, because he did the button. He's done.
Fabok, he does good stuff.
He's done quite a few really for the Flash. So, but So do you know much about the storyline that's going to be going on with that, or is it just kind of it's coming?
It's been kept under wraps.
Okay, that's what I thought. Under wraps
so much. The only thing that it left you with is that Batman didn't know, and it kind of pissed me off, because at first it's like wow, that was cool, and then you think about it, it marinates, and you're like, he's the world's greatest detective, and he didn't tell that that's 3 different people that he's been fighting over the past 80 years.
80 years, yeah, exactly. It's how am I still 32?
How's he still 32? And then 2, how did he not notice that that's a different guy each fucking time?
Each time.
Oh, sorry, F-bomb.
We'll put some sort of fun little sound widget in there. It's fine.
Why did you say that name? That should be over every bleep.
We need some sort of little tone that's going to go over that. I'll figure something out.
Every bleep should be a moment of Ben.
Oh, that could be good.
Speaking of 3 Jokers,
yes.
What do you think about the possibility of having 3 Batman?
Well, are you talking in the multiverse sense, or what do you mean?
Yeah, because in 2021 we're going to have Robert Pattinson, Ben Affleck, and Michael Keaton.
I'm all for it. I've seen reports that have been coming out saying that Robert Pattinson I love that. That Pattinson is perfect for this role. I've seen,
because I've heard this story is a detective noir story. So it's not going to be like him beating up a bunch of guys like Batfleck is. Yeah. So I've heard good things. I've heard that he's going to be really perfect for the role.
Very excited. I think that's going to be one of my. It has the potential of being one of my favorites, because it's going to be detective in a lot of his rogues gallery, and I think that's going to be a fun combo. So,
have you ever read Long Halloween?
No, that's the one that you had told me that I should get into, and I just haven't read it yet. So
yeah, we're gonna have to make that into a homework assignment.
You ever read the Arkham Asylum, the graphic novel?
Yes, and that's the one that Leto. That's the one that Leto based his Joker off.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. That's what he said in an interview.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. That is a great story. I mean,
it's a great story, and the artwork is horrifying.
Terrifying. It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. It's so good though.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so good. But no, so you're most excited about Battinson.
Yeah. Of these ones.
I think I'm most excited about Batfleck coming back personally.
Yeah.
I mean, just because I want to see the Justice League in BVS style.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the way that it ended up. So even if it's the last film that Batfleck's in, I want to see what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
What it was intended to be.
I think it would be fun to get a Batman Beyond story in, but I don't want it to be forced just because Keaton has a name, and because I don't think that Keaton he's from Earth 89. It's a totally separate universe. And if they break that up, then I mean, what kind of continuity do you have in the first place? So
I do like the idea of Keaton being Bruce in Batman Beyond and Batman 89 being the world that creates Terry McGinnis. But I'm also at this point still a little skeptical that any of that's going to happen because it's still rumors that Keaton's coming on. He hasn't said anything.
I haven't actually brought this up yet, but do you think that they would incorporate Titans?
That'd be sick.
The TV show? I love that show.
It's good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
I think that would be pretty fun.
I mean, they did a little Easter egg on the TV crossover where, not Easter egg, but they did a scene where Ezra showed up and Grant Gustin gave him the name for the Flash. So it'd be kind of cool if the Titans showed up. That'd be sick.
I'd be pretty stoked about that.
I would.
Nice. Do you want to? I'm really excited about the games that you have in store.
All right, let's do it. Let's do game show host mode. Welcome to another installment of I've Got Questions. I got questions.
He's got questions.
He's got questions. I'll be your host, Cheesy McGee. All right, here's the deal. I got questions. Okay. I have either character, person, movie, TV show, something in mind. Okay. You have 20 chances to get it right. So it's like 20 questions, except the only thing we can answer is yes or no. That's it. And so, and it's going to be dealing with the only thing I can tell you is the category, and then from there we just go. Sound fair?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I love
All right. The category tonight is...
We don't have Shane waiting like round 4 to answer the question and us saying, no, wait for us.
Shane always
love you,
got
Shane.
It, like right away.
But it was not fair.
Because he's so smart.
Yeah.
SMRT.
Terrible.
It's like that guy's like an encyclopedia.
Seriously, it's not fair.
It's
not All right. Fair. What's the topic? Right.
The category is character.
The category is character?
It's a character. It's not a movie. It's not a TV show. It's a character.
All right. Is the character a male?
Yes.
Does the character wear a cape?
No.
Does the character have a weapon?
No.
Does the character wear green?
No.
Does the character wear a gold helmet?
Ooh. No.
Oh. I thought I was onto something there.
Well, I can't say much.
Is the character fast?
No. Should I give you a hint? I'll give you a hint at 10.
Yeah, I was going to say not at 6.
Not at 6. Give me a hint at 10.
Is the character a part of the Justice League?
It has been. And
is the character a part of the Justice Society of America?
Hmm.
You can look it up.
No.
Okay.
He has been in Justice League.
Is the character from Earth?
Yes.
Is the character most comfortable underwater?
Oh, no.
Is the character fastest through the air?
No. All
Mm.
right, we're at 10. We're at 10.
Okay.
All right, let's see. He is known for his endless deadpan snarking.
But you questioned the gold helmet.
I didn't
You
question
said
it.
no to it, but you had to think
I said
about
no to it, but I laughed about it.
Is the character a Marvel character?
No.
Oh, is the character Booster Gold?
Ooh, that was a good guess, but no.
Ah, okay. Ooh, that was a waste.
We're getting close. We're getting close.
Getting close with Booster Gold.
I'm gonna give you another. No. We're getting close to the end.
Give me a hint at 15.
15. You get another clue.
So this character is a DC character that is faster on land than in the sky, not in the water, doesn't wear a gold helmet.
You asked if his superpower was speed, and I said no. So he's not a speedster. He doesn't have a cape. He's obviously a male. We said that at the beginning.
Is this?
I laughed at the gold helmet. There's a key there. Why?
I know. I'm focusing on that part of it. I'll cut a lot of this empty time out. By the way,
you do you. I love on Conan when they always say we'll edit that out in the end.
Yeah, I would never do. Is this?
All right, you're on 12.
Okay, was this character given their power was this character given their power as an adult?
I think so, yes.
As an adult?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so hard. Doesn't wear a cape, though. Okay.
That's what she said.
Shoot, that ruined so many of my questions. I should have remembered the cape thing. Okay. Is this character a villain?
No.
It's 14.
But, yeah. I'm going to give you 2 hints. I'll give you a hint at 14 here.
So we'll do 5, 10, and 15.
Either. Yeah. He's not a hero either. I'm just going to make a statement.
Is this character very small?
No.
Oh, right. No, okay.
He's a chain smoker.
Chain smoker?
Mm-hmm. You're going to kick yourself now when you figure it out.
Is this character magic based?
Yes.
Is this character British?
Yes.
Is this character in love with Zatanna?
Yes.
Is this John Constantine?
Ding, 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 ding.
Damn! God, the cigarettes, man. It's the only character.
19.
I almost wanted to ask another one just so that I could be at 20.
Just right at 20.
As soon as you said cigarettes.
I knew that was going to give you away.
Oh, the gold helmet, because he did wear. Damn it!
See, that's why I laughed, because he wore it, but he doesn't wear it. And he was in the Justice League, but not really in the Justice League. So
yeah. Man, good work.
You stumped me on a couple ones, man. You stumped me on a couple ones. No, what? Like you were close, man. You were very close. I was like,
my questions were close, but I wasn't until cigarettes.
I know that was, but you did good, man. I applaud you. Well done,
I can't believe I actually got it first round.
No.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna get you next week.
So what the number to beat is 19. Just remember that.
Oh, okay. I could have had it at 16 then because of the cigarettes.
You were playing games at the end.
Well, I just wanted to make sure as soon as you said cigarettes and I said magic, I was like, oh yeah, it's done.
I think so new rule going forward. If you guess, I was
thinking of Dr. Fate too.
If you guess a name, that takes away 2 questions.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
You like that?
We'll do hints at 5, 10, and 15 as well.
5, 10, and 15.
We'll do that.
All right, perfect. All right. Well, to close out last segment of the show, let's do Top Shelf.
Top Shelf. So
Top Shelf.
I'll kick us off with Top Shelf. I know we've been focusing heavily on DC tonight, but
tell us what is Top Shelf.
Read my mind. So Top Shelf is going to be where Shaun and I go through some of the things that we've enjoyed that we think that one another could enjoy as well. So we're going to recommend things not only for everyone that is watching, listening to take part in, and to let us know what you think, but things for us to actually recommend to one another. And then in the next episode, we have to actually talk about what we were recommended. So I'm going to kick us off by recommending an Image Comics title named Middle West.
Middle West. Okay.
Super, super fun story. I'm going to literally bring up absolutely none of the plot. Just know, okay, so it's by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Corona's very bad timing. Names are names.
Names.
It is visually stunning. It is one of those, Image Comics doesn't mess around, but it's something that I highly recommend. I don't want to bring up really too much, but it's a lot of like mystical, it almost is like a child's imagination come to life. A child living a bad, abusive life come to life.
Okay.
And I can't really go into much more, but I really think you're going to like it. So,
all right.
Middle West. Image Comics. Scotty Young, Jorge Corona.
Is there, so this question, because I'm not familiar with the series. Mm-hmm. There isn't an ongoing series like it's been on for years and they've rebooted it. I can just start with episode 1. Issue 1, Middle West.
Yep. That's starting in 2018.
Perfect. Sounds great. All right. If I paid you good money right now, American dollars.
Yes.
I bet you couldn't guess what comic what brand I'm going to recommend to you.
Valiant.
No. Marvel.
Wow. Okay.
This is House of X. And
it's been on my list.
Have you read it?
It's been on my list. I haven't read it, no.
It is fan-freaking-tastic. While you slept, the world changed. With those words, Professor X announces to the people of Earth the new mutant nation of Krakoa. It's a safe haven for Homo Superior, its own rules and own language. Basically, what these dudes did was they reinvented the X-Men as we know it. And in between the pages is their own language. See that? And so they talk in their own language, and then it explains what the language means. It has a whole new mutant civilization. Basically, it fucks with time and just the whole origin stories, and everything to do with the X-Men is completely wiped out and clean slated, and it's awesome. So knowing your history of the X-Men is not as important this time. You can start this book and enjoy this book.
Because I do love the X-Men. So I love this. Oh, I'm so excited.
I love the X-Men too. And so what it will be for you is you see Easter eggs of characters you know, but it's not the same character you know because it's going to be telling a different story. It's going to be focusing on different people. Does that make sense?
Nice. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So this one is the whole compendium, I guess. It's called House of X, Powers of X. Okay. So it's a double book. I would suggest getting this one, and it's a bigger read, I know, but it reads like butter.
Do we make a rule on Top Shelf that whatever we recommend we buy, and just build out each other's collections?
I like it.
Boom! I'm in. I'm totally down. That sounds perfect.
All right. I love it. That's a deal, my friend. Internet handshake.
Awesome. Well, that is yet another. I shouldn't say yet another because we just got this thing going again, but another episode of Shop Talk. It is. It's a little bit different than what past Shop Talk has been, but this is Shaun and I. We are taking full ownership of this version, this rendition, and man, as much as I miss everyone else, I'm so stoked to be doing this with you. So,
me too.
Really, really
this
good
has been
time.
A blast. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. But we will. So everything's gonna be posted on YouTube because you're watching this on YouTube. So clearly, this is on YouTube. But we are also going to start pushing some episodes onto some different podcast mediums. We will announce that, and we're going to post all of those links down in the description below. Make sure that you like this video, share this video, and subscribe. And
if you like the nerdy content, please subscribe to our Facebook page, which is the International Justice League of Associates.
International Justice League of Super Acquaintances. Shaun, come on. Come on.
I messed up the group. They're
to be fair, it's almost
chastise me.
It's almost 2 a.m. where you're at, so I can't really blame you.
I know. You can't blame me.
Got that fatigue setting in, but
I know. Yeah. I'm getting tired.
Like, share, subscribe, post this everywhere that you can, and let us know in the comments below what you'd like to hear. Tell us how much we are wrong with everything we're talking about, and we will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.
Cheers.